Hey agents, welcome to my latest video. I know it's been a while, but I decided to upload something a bit different for my channel at least. It's not anything new. There are builds like that out there widely available. This is not anything new. It's just new to me personally. So for anybody not using status effect builds, this is actually a support build. It's not a DPS build, so you will not be doing any damage yourself. The purpose of the support status effect builds is to just to blind and confuse your enemies. At least for this one, or to burn them, or to whatever, or to make them bleed, whatever you want to do. Just so your DPS guys can actually burn them down. Not the bleed so much, but the DPS guys to take them down. So the point of why I'm using, why I chose the Firefly for this one, if I select the Firefly, if it actually works, sometimes it doesn't work, it sticks to your hand or just disappears. So that Firefly will blind your enemies. So they can't shoot back, so they can't shoot but they can't see, right? While using the gunner specialization, so I can have the Banshee Pulse. So then you do your Banshee Pulse, you just wait for it. You don't do both at the same time, but as your blind is getting depleted, as they start getting start firing you again, you can use the confusion, so they can't shoot you either. That's basically the purpose of this. And the other thing why I'm using this gun here, which this is the Pyromaniac, by the way, why I'm using it. I'll explain now why I'm using it. Why I'm using trauma on the chest is you shoot them, they start bleeding. The creeping death, which is a backpack talent, that will transfer the bleed to the rest of them, and the same happens with the fire from the Imperial Dynasty also. The one NPC will get set on fire, and he'll transfer that status effect of the fire to the rest of his group. So let me just break it down for you. Like I said, I'm using Gunner, so I can have the Banshee Pulse. The Firefly is not tied to specialization. You can use it on any one that you want to. I've told you why I'm using the Pyromaniac. That synergizes with the Ulster Imperial Dynasty. They get set on fire, and then I can shoot them, do a little bit of damage. The same reason why I'm using the Carnage, which has the Perfect Sadist. So that also works pretty well with the Trauma, which I have on the chest. Either you can either blind them if you shoot them in the head. That's if your Firefly's on cooldown, you happen to hit someone in the head. It has the same effect as throwing the Firefly out. Like I showed you the bleed already. The bleed get transferred to the rest of the group with the creeping death, which is there in the backpack. So not to go, I don't think I need to go into much detail. I think most players should really know what's going on here, what my choices were here. I'm using the 3-piece Wyvern for the 3 brand bonuses for skill damage, status effect, and skill duration. Obviously, the status effect, you want status effects on all 6 of your pieces. That just makes the blind, the status effect, whether it's confusion or blind or the bleed, it makes it a little bit stronger, let it last a bit longer. It basically just increases the length the status effect will last. That's why I want status effects on all 6 pieces. Or obviously I'm not running technician, so all 6 pieces have to be roll skill tier. That's how I have the best benefit out of all the skills. So I have armor region on this one. There's status effect I need to max out, and the skill is over there. Like I said, once again guys, like I say in all my builds, this is not actually, I don't have all the perfect builds, all the perfect rolls and pieces. This is just for you to actually improve on, and for me to improve on as well. Always farming, always looking for a new piece, better roll. My second wyvern there is the backpack for the status effect. That's a 2-piece bonus. There's weapon handling, helps out with the LMG. Like I said, status effects I have max out. Skill ace I don't have max out. And there's the creeping death. I explained to you what that actually does. I showed you what it does. My 3rd-piece wyvern for the skill duration lets the blind and the confusion last 20% longer. Skill tier, the skill damage, status effects I need to have max out. I don't have it max yet. I'm using 2-piece Hannah U. The first one has a trauma, which I rolled on there, which I explained to you. The status effects there actually is 9.2. I need it to be 10, but 8.6 skill damage, and the crit chance mod I put in there just because I couldn't put anything else in there really. That's not a crit build, so it doesn't make. I couldn't even leave it out. It wouldn't make a difference. Because there's not a DPS build or crit build, anything like that. Second piece and a U for the 10% skill damage as well. There's a status effect. I think it would actually have benefited me as well if I have actually a golem glove. If I can find a golem gear glove with 10% status effect on, I can roll that to skill tier, will be much better. Then it will even be, then the build will be 10% stronger already. You saw the Imperial Dynasty is 10% skill effect and 9.6 as a protection. It took me 8 runs on Strider Tanker to get that in any case. By the way, it took me 8 runs to get it finally. And I explained to you already why I'm using the Banshee Pulse and the Firefly. I can actually have the cooldown, the duration, and the effect and the range could be much better. With those are the only two mods I have: effect, duration, and a cone skill. I need to get better mods for the Firefly as well. I can get the cooldown, I can get the bit down, and I can increase the speed because I don't have any mods to put in here. Because I never kept the up to this point, up to this week, I never kept any of the mods for the pulse or for any of the skills for that matter. I only kept the ones for the hive and for the shield and for the seekers and stuff I actually use. I didn't use any of the stuff. But like I said, this build works really well. If you have 3 DPS players in front of you, you just hang back and do these confusion and stuff. You make them bleed and you transfer the status effects with the creeping death. So you can also mix it up. There's not the perfect way to do it. I have a bit more here. There's the usual build I have there. That's the status immunity build. I call this one Blindfire. This one is the same principle. You want status effect on all of your pieces, but this one uses the firewall, not for the flamethrower, but for the benefit of when your armor breaks, then the enemy gets set on fire. It's a status effect that will be transferred onto the other enemies with creeping death. Basically the same, the pieces are the same, but you can change the specialization. This will also work really well with the firewall. The burn duration of the firewall is 20% stronger, so the burn will be 20% stronger than what you have on the build that just showed you. And with this one I use the sticky bomb, the burn variety. I use that one there. To also burn duration there is 41. I don't actually have any good mods on there, but if I was gonna use that, you can do the burn, you get transferred, the same Firefly, and you can switch to your, can do a bit of that, do some damage, get them to bleed a bit, transfer it, then the blind confusion, basically the same. The idea is the same with that one, with the sticky bomb. You can use any of the other ones as well. You can use the chem launcher, you can use the fire starter on it. So there's a lot of options. You can use the fire starter. What else is there? I think you can use that one. There's a seeker that you can use. You can use a seeker there for the burn, the airburst one. There's actually a lot you can use. So you must first decide what 2 skills you want to use before you make any status effect build. That will determine what specialization would be the optimal one. Not always the best, but I don't want to say the best. I want to say optimal, which would be the optimal one to use. I showed you that one already. This one I call Nosebleed. This one is basically the same principle. But this one it was technician because you get a few nice mods which you can use with a hive. So this one is a stinger hive. You just actually want to transfer it as well, creeping death. Like I said, there's also a support build, but then you get the damage one, which I haven't uploaded yet. But this is a damage variety. Also with a gunner, artillery mortar. You can see this mortar here. The pieces are a bit different, but there the damage is 3 million. It could be a bit more. We get better mods, better pieces. This one is 3.7, the Seeker is 3.7 mil. Could be better. Okay, let me just go through this one quickly as well while I am here. This one is a baker's dozen. I mean, just because you're not, I could actually have Sadis or something on the M1A with Sadis or something, but this is for demonstration purposes. I don't use it build much, that's a lot. Carnage as well, because it's a bleed build, so you want perfect Sadis. Not going to go through all the mods. For this one, if you're using artillery mortar and seekers, I would recommend you go for stuff like explosive damage. So that's why I have one piece China Light with explosive damage. You could use perfectly wicked here as well. I don't have a perfectly wicked. right now at the moment. I only have wicked, but I don't have a perfectly wicked with the skill tier and skill damage and these stats on. So perfect shock and all will do. It's when you apply a status effect, your skill damage goes up as well. Skill damage goes up for 27 seconds. So then the mortar will hit harder, the seekers will hit harder. They'll do 20% more damage. You can also have, there's perfect wicked, but I don't have the best stats on there because I would need to roll this to skill tier. So you can have perfectly wicked on a skill tier. You can have the perfect combined arms you can use there. So shooting an enemy will increase its total skill damage by 30%. You can use that one as well. I just put perfect shock and all on there because it's the lazy option. I mean, that's why I put it on there. Yeah. Like so you need one piece China if you're going for seekers and the stuff that does explosive damage. That's why I have 2-piece Grupo for explosive damage as well. So this one on a build like this, which you depend on explosions, with explosion damage, you want to have then. This is where the difference come in. You want skill damage on all 6 pieces. The previous build that showed you status effect builds, you want status effects on all of them, but this is more a DPS variety. So perfectly wicked would actually be better. It's a gun talent. It will work better. So this one is perfect spot, increase your total weapon damage by 15%. I would actually prefer a chest piece. I just put this together randomly, a chest piece with skill damage. I had one, but I guess I deconstructed that one. So you want perfect spark, or you can have any of the other varieties. Perfect spark, there's quite a few you can use. You must just choose. It's based on what skills you want to use. I'm jumping around a bit on this one, but skill is and skill damage. I didn't roll skill damage on here because I use this piece on the other builds, the status effect builds, just to give you a basic idea of what to actually do. Yeah, the Grupo is my other piece with skill damage on, just for explosive damage. I had to roll skill tier on here. So this is more of a blueprint of how we would go about making a DPS variety of a status effect. You need to choose, basically you just choose your 2 skills that will determine the optimum specialization, and then you just need to tailor the pieces, either the pieces that give you status effect brand bonuses, or the pieces that give you explosive damage, or you could use the hardwired variety, which I don't really like using personally. So guys, that's all about skill damage builds, status effects builds, what the purpose are. This one is more of the DPS variety. If I was to use this one, it will be more DPS. I don't have the perfect talents on it. Don't have the perfect talents on this one, but this is more your DPS variety. You wanna do a lot of damage. Just show you the skills quickly, so you can have some options. This is for guys that don't actually know. I mean, most of the guys have played the game for a year, longer than a year. You know all the stuff already, so you can skip this part. So you can actually use, for the skill, you can use skilled as well. You don't have to use the ones that I'm using. You can use Overwatch. Overwatch is pretty good for skill builds as well. You can use Overwatch. I would recommend that. You're sitting in cover a lot, so it's better to have Overwatch than Perfect Spark. There's more benefit to this one. It increases your skill and your weapon damage. So I would prefer having this one. Oh, chest with for a DPS build for Overwatch. I would prefer having Overwatch there. So these, you can use glass cannon as well. It amplifies skill damage, but I don't like taking more damage in, so that's why I don't use it. But most skill builds you can have really powerful if you use glass cannon or perfect glass cannon. There's tamper proof. When it comes to the backpacks, you can use combined arms. I showed you. There's stick support. There's shock and awe, perfect shock and awe. There's a versatile. Well, it's not more for weapons, not really for skill, but there's your creeping death that I use on the status effects ones. You get your wicked, which is DPS or perfectly wicked. So there's talents here for skill world or status effects. That's better for status effects. There's some which I showed you, which as soon as you use a skill or apply a status effect, it will boost your weapon and your skill damage, or just your weapon damage, or just your skill damage. It depends on what your preference is, how you want to play. If you want to be a skill support guy, or if you want to be a skill DPS guy. So guys, that's probably the only video I'm going to make about status effects and skills. that's basically how to put the build together, how to decide what you're going to use. It all depends on what skills you want, how you want to play it. Are you guys want to launch seekers the whole time? Do you want to do hives? Do you want to use the mortar? Do you want to use the firefly or the banshee pulse? Basically, you have a whole launch host of skills here. Then again, I'm just telling this to guys that don't know yet. The guys just purchased the game. I have quite a few of them in the clan that only been playing for a few weeks. They don't have 2 or 3 weeks. They don't have all the stuff. So whether it's a shield you want to use, or seeker, turrets, whatever you want to use. So you must first decide what skills you want, and then build from there. That will determine your pieces and the optimal specialization, because each of them are tailored to a specific kind of play, a specific kind of skills they are tied to it. So guys, that's all about status effects and DPS skill builds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share with your friends that maybe only have been playing the game for like 2 days, maybe to motivate them, to get them going. Like I said, these are just blueprints I showed you, not perfect builds, perfect rolls, perfect pieces, but just to give you an idea of what's actually possible for skills. Like I said, you can check my channel for all the DPS, for the weapon, more the weapon based ones, or the variety of shield builds. Shield builds I have here, different flavors, all tailored to different things. Some raid stuff here. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Cheerio.